The great and the good of the celebrity and football worlds descended on the London Stadium on Sunday night for the latest installment of Soccer Aid in support of UNICEF. The rest of the world drew 2-2 with England inside the 90 minutes before defeating them 4-1 on penalties. Some things, such as the Three Lions' capabilities from the spot, do not change. Lee Mack achieved ultimate redemption when he slotted the winning penalty for the rest of the world. Noah Beck put the rest of the world in front before Mark Wright scored from the spot at the other end. Tom Grennan then gave England the lead before Kem Seatoney levelled it. In a particularly important year for the charity with the events in Yemen and Ukraine, Robbie Williams once again pulled together his band of merry friends for an entertaining evening of glitz and a bit of football in East London. In its 10th installment since its founding in 2006, Soccer Aid had raised £8.7 million by half-time, with various videos from the likes of Ewan McGregor, Alex Scott and Olivia Colman illustrating why this was such an important event. The build-up to the game, hosted on ITV by Dermot O'Leary and Scott, focused largely on the events that the football match was looking to support. Viewers heard from David Beckham pitchside as to the importance of using his platform to show the world what was happening in Ukraine. He had recently handed his Instagram account over to a Ukrainian doctor to illustrate what she was witnessing firsthand in her war-torn country. A moving video involving Eddie Izzard documented the current horrors of Yemen, labeled the worst place on earth for a child to grow up. It is estimated over 350,000 people have died in the region since the conflict began there in 2014. The football, as is always the case, was very much not the important part of the day, but it was the main event, and when it finally got underway it was an entertaining game. The rest of the world began strongest, with Cafu and Patrice Evra in particular impressing. Usain Bolt, who won 3 gold medals in the London Stadium in 2012, looked lively and quick early on. Indeed, it was Bolt's pace and use of the channels that appeared to cause England the most trouble, with centre-back pairing Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville struggling to contain the Jamaican. The rest of the world looked likely to score, and score they did. Chunks, who had just been introduced for Soccer Aid's first ever disabled player, Alex Brooker, clumsily brought down Evra, and referee Mark Clattenburg had no choice to point to the spot. The impressive Noah Beck, who we were told played football in his youth, slotted the penalty high beyond the diving David James. From that moment, England grew into it. Chunks achieved the ultimate redemption when he found himself in the box after a nice cross from right. His touch was adequate, and Beck, who went from hero to zero, went through the back of him. After some confusion over who was going to take the penalty, with Carragher not keen to let the YouTube star step up, Wright eventually did, and he coolly put it to the left of Petr Cech. Half-time brought the entertainment it seemed most were here for, with Williams performing Angels. David Harewood also featured in a heartbreaking video for UNICEF, while the Izzard feature on Yemen played to deathly silence across the ground owing to the sheer brutality of the situation there. Following the lengthy halftime break, the teams emerged and England immediately found themselves in the ascendancy. Grennan, who had been a promising player in his youth, picked up a nice ball by comedian Russell Howard and raced away from Evra. His finish to the left of the world's strongest man, Tom Stoltman, was impressive. England could have added more as they went for the third, looking to end a run of 3 straight defeats going back to 2018. But the rest of the world, driven on by some technically sound celebrities, levelled. Kem Seatoney latched onto a loose right-back pass to slot past Harewood, who was playing with one hamstring. Chances fell to both sides, with Grennan having the pick of them to win it late on, but he could only bend his shot on the outside of the post when looking to go for the Thierry Henry-style finish. Penalties came, therefore, and it was yet more pain for the Three Lions in a shootout. They missed their first 2, with Grennan blasting over and Howard shooting down the middle, with Stoltman brave enough to stand there and save. Wright scored to give England hope, but Lee Mack achieved the ultimate redemption when he scored the rest of the world's 4th spot kick to give them a 4th consecutive win. Here is Sportsmail's live blog for updates on this year's Soccer Aid as England and a World 11 go head-to-head at the London Stadium.